All of you, good morning, guys. Guys, audible? Guys, all of you, audible? Okay, right, guys. So yesterday we started what we can say Oracle, and we said in the last session, okay, in RDBMS there are so many products we have it here, like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, Sybase, Informix, Ingresses, Teradata, PostgreSQL, MaxDB, etc., etc. So in those many RDBMS products, okay, so one of the product we are learning here, so that was Oracle. And yesterday we said, so Oracle, okay, so what it is, I mean, Oracle is one of RDBMS software guys here, otherwise the database software also we can say. And this was from Oracle Corporation in 1979, and it was using for the software is going to be helping us. Okay, the software is going to be helping us to store data in permanent manner. Okay, so permanent means where you want to store your data means hard disk memories along with the security. Okay, now along with security. But before you want to store data, okay, in permanent or else a security manner. So first of all, we need to work on Oracle database. First, we need to deploy Oracle software. So I said here, any operating systems will be supported here. You can use any one operating system. Okay, so to installation of your Oracle software, because Oracle is completely the platform independent product. Okay, and now we can go for how to downloading Oracle 19c software as well as how to install Oracle 19c software. But before going to installations here, okay, before going to installations here, the first we will see a few things here that is called as there. First of all, we have to know about versions. The versions of Oracle. Okay, we will go to check out here, and which type of and how many versions are there, so that all we will discuss here. Okay, right. So guys, here from 1979 to from 1979 to the 2000, okay, the 2020 2019, okay, so up to latest version, there are so many versions are introduced by your what we can say Oracle Corporation people, and in each version, okay, so from 1979 to okay the latest 19c version, okay, in each version what kind of features are introduced by the Oracle Corporation people, let me check out guys here. Okay, so we will get some versions, and along with the the versions features we will be discussed now, and later you will get some idea, okay, which version we are going to installing now, okay, what is what we are going to be checking out right now. Okay, right. So come to okay, come to the versions. Carefully observe guys here. So this is complete the information I gather. One we have to check out. So now just one by one we can check out here. So versions of Oracle. So in so many people are having some doubts and queries are there in sir in 10 version what it was happened, in 11th version 11 version what it was happened, what kind of the new features are introducing in each versions. Okay, so this kind of the confusion was there. Okay, now, so that's why first of all we will see the complete versions of Oracle and later you will be get some idea. Okay, right. So now here 1972 is the first version was introduced by Oracle Corporation people, that Oracle 1.0. Oracle 1.0. So Oracle 1.0, okay, it's not a public release here, guys, here. So this is internally the company and organizations was using here, and this is not a public. Okay, right. And the 1980 Oracle 2.0, this is the first public release with the basic SQL functionalities. Okay, no? With the basic SQL functionalities, and it is a first public released version. Okay, so and they're introducing some DDL commands, DML commands, DQL commands. So okay, so this type of basic fundamentals they introduced in this 2.0 version. Okay, and the next one is a 1982 Oracle 3.0. In this future, okay, in this version, what is the future is first portable database. So first portable database they introduced from Oracle 3.0 version, and the first portable means what? Now the moving. Okay, we can move into your database servers from one to another locations. We can go to moving. And later 1984, the Oracle 4.0 version. In this, there was introducing some read consistency methods. They introduced in 4.0. And later 1986, Oracle 5.0, they're introducing client server architecture. So the client server architecture communication, how it was going to be happen. Okay, user and server. So user application and server application, how they are communicating each other. Okay, so the client server architecture first they introduced into 5.0. And later 1988, Oracle 6.0, they introduced the PLSQL language. So that means before Oracle 6.0, there is no PLSQL language. We have only SQL language, we have it here. Okay, so from the Oracle 6.0 version, the people was introducing the second language of Oracle. Okay, that is called a PLSQL, the procedural language, which is extension of SQL language. Procedural language, which is extension of SQL language. Okay, so that was introduced in the 6.0 version. And later, in 1992, Oracle 7.0 version. So in this, so many features are introducing by Oracle Corporation people. So those features like the integrity constants, okay, introducing here, and varchar data type is changing into varchar2, and stored procedures, stored functions, and triggers. Stored procedures, stored functions, and triggers. So these features are introducing in this 7.0 version. Okay, and the later 1997, okay, the Oracle 8.0 version was introducing here, and in this they introduced the object-oriented features, table partitions, and instead of triggers. Okay, object-oriented features, table partitions, and okay, instead of triggers. And later in 1998, Oracle 8i, and this is the first internet application. Okay, this is I stands for internet here. So this is the first internet application. Okay, now they're introducing in Oracle 8.i. And in this version, they're introducing a roll-up cube methods, and columns are increasing for a table up to 1000. Here I stands for internet. So internet applications means, okay, what it was happening guys here. Okay. So we can go to interacting with your multimedia operations like images. We can storing images, storing audio files, storing video files. Okay, so this kind of okay operations we can do in the Oracle 8i version. Okay, so multimedia means what now? So like audio files, video files, image files, yes or no? So that kind of data can be stored from Oracle 8i version onwards. Okay, now? And later extension, the Oracle 8i extension is called it. So 2001 Oracle 9i was introducing here. So in this, they're introducing what now? Renaming columns and ANSI joins they introduced here. Okay, ANSI joins they introduced here. Okay, so that is one. Okay, the thing we can go to check out here in Oracle 9i, which was extension of Oracle 8i. Okay, and in this extension of version, they're introducing renaming column and ANSI joins. Okay, so what is ANSI joins? What is rename? How to renaming column? That all we can see in our classes, right? Now, in the next one is 2004 Oracle 10G. It's a grid technologies. Okay, and in this version, they're introducing what now here? Admin side operations like flashback queries indicating of classes, regular expressions are introducing year 10G. Yet G is nothing but grid technologies. That means in this what it was happening guys here, we are going to be interacting with multiple servers. Okay, so grid is nothing but it is a collection of and a group of servers we are interacting with your databases. Okay, now it's a group of servers we are interacting with your databases. Not only one server, the multiple servers will interacting with the database communication. Okay, so that is called a grid. Grid is nothing but group of servers. Grid is nothing but collection of servers. The collection or group of servers will interacting with your databases. So that is called a grid we called. Okay, right. And the next extension of the 10G. Okay, next extension of 10G is what now? Oracle 11G. So it was introducing in 2007. So Oracle 11G, and in this, some features are introducing like read-only tables, virtual tables, integer data type using sequences, enable and disable triggers. So this kind of operations are they introducing in the 11G. Okay, right. And later 2013, they introducing Oracle 12C. Yes, C stands for cloud technologies. Okay, cloud technologies. So that means your Oracle is integrated with the cloud technologies. Okay, and in this version, they're introducing what now? Truncate table cascades, multiple indexes, invisible columns, sequence sessions, and new auto increment by using of identity. So this kind of features are they introducing in Oracle 12C. Yes, C stands for cloud. So that means from Oracle 12C onwards, your database is supporting to store and to integrate it with the cloud, okay, technologies. Okay, so that is what Oracle 12C. And later their extensions are there. 12C extension, next one, 2018. The Oracle 18C was introducing is the extension of 12C year. And in this, some more features they added that is called as a polymorphic tables functions and active directory integrations. Okay, they will be added. And later that 18C extension we called as a 19C. Actually 18C, 19C, these two are extension of Oracle 12C we called. So Oracle 12C extensions are 18 and 19. So in 19, so 2019, Oracle 19C, in this, they're introducing some features like the active data guard, DML redirections, atomic index creations, SQL queries, and object stores. Okay, now SQL queries on object stores. Okay, so these are okay. Now, and we are going to be learning the latest version 19C, and these are the extension versions, and each extension version, what kind of the features are introduced by Oracle Corporation people. This is complete table guides here. And by seeing of the table, you will get some idea, okay, how the versions are introducing, and each version to version, what kind of features are they introducing in this. Okay, right. And the next one is here after these versions. Okay, now, so after these versions, okay, now, so we will be go for, so here, if you want to go for, okay, if you want to go for, so what was called as here. Yes. So now by taking off these all versions, okay, now taking off these all versions, now we want to install your Oracle software. But here, one more very important thing is in this versions, okay, now, so when you want to install, so carefully observe guys here. Okay, now we can see. So now we have here. So when we want to installing your Oracle software, when we want to install, okay, Oracle software, there are two editions we have right here. There are two editions we have it here. So that means Oracle software is going to be available in two versions. Okay, so in two editions we have it here. Okay, now in two editions we have it here. Okay, so what kind of editions we have it here? The first one we called as a Oracle Enterprise Edition. This is the first, okay, Oracle Enterprise Edition. So this is the first, okay, software, and later Oracle, okay, Oracle Express Edition. Oracle Express Edition. So actually, your Oracle software is having or available in two editions. It was available. One is Enterprise and one is Express Edition. But in these two editions, what is the differences means? Here, Oracle Enterprise Edition is a complete and fully supported, database we call guys here. It's fully supported. That means supporting, so simply if you want to say in our language, supporting all features, supports all features. Okay, na? But here Express Edition, is not supporting all features. So it doesn't it doesn't support all features. Okay, now so like in Express Edition, we can't go for to do it like this here. For example, flashback commands we cannot use it. Okay, now and we cannot use it like the purge statements we cannot use it. Okay, and like we cannot use it like the recycle bins we cannot use it. Like we cannot use it like partitions of tables we cannot use it. So these kind of so some features which will be not supported in your Express edition. So Express edition is a partially supported edition. And so many features. It was not supported in Express edition. But later, the enterprise editions are nowadays everyone they're using Oracle enterprise editions. So in these editions, you're supporting all the features like flashbacks, purge, recycle, partitions. So locking, so that almost all features we can go to implement in this enterprise edition. Okay, now so that's why in our classes also we are going to be taking to work on Oracle enterprise editions. We are going to be work on here. Okay, and now in this Oracle Enterprise Edition, suppose you need to install now. What it was happening, internally was observed guys here. Once observed, once we install, once we install, once we install Oracle software. Once we install Oracle software, internally, 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 there are two components. There are two components are installed by or two components installed by system. Okay, now so it's very important. Carefully observe guys. So what it was saying here. So once we install Oracle software, internally there are two components are installed by system. What are the components are there? Means in this, the first component I'm going to take in here, that is the Oracle client component. First one is called as what now? Oracle client component. And second one is called as what now? Oracle server component. So when you want to installing, your Oracle software, so internally the system installed two components are installed here, client and server components. So what is client and what is server? And client component where you want to use and server component where you want to use makes simply observe. So client component, we are using guys here. The purpose of client component is there are three operations we can do. There are three activities we can do with the Oracle client component. In this, my first activity is called as what now? It is used to connecting your Oracle database. So before you want to working on Oracle database, first you need to connect to Oracle database server. So first thing, connectivity purpose we are using. Second one is going to be used for what is the second one we are using? Means sending requests. Sending requests to my Oracle database server. Whenever user after successfully connecting to your Oracle database server, so we need to send a request. So how the user can sending request means again I need to use my client tool. Again, I want to use the client tool. With the help of client tool only, I can send my request to my Oracle database server. So after that, in the third operation, what we can do means user, they will be receive response Okay, they will be receive response from Oracle database server through this client tool only. Okay, now so now okay, what it was happening guys here, Oracle client component. Okay, so for what purpose we are going to be using means there are three activities we can do by using of Oracle client component. One is connectivity. So first of all, you need to connect. For connectivity purpose, we are using some username and passwords. Yes or no? We need to use to connectivity purpose. And the second one we called as a sending request to Oracle database server. So whenever you want to send a request to Oracle database server, so there also we required a client component. And later, after sending user request, and we all of you know, the server will take user request and processing. After processing, the server will sending some response to user application, and that response also we can receive by using of Oracle client tool. Okay, now so these are the three operations we can do guys here by using of Oracle client tool. And guys, here what kind of client tools we have it here? Okay, what kind of client tools we have it means that there are so many various and different client tools are there. Okay, for example, the examples of client tools what now? So we are using like SQL plus client tool, SQL plus client tool, and we are using like okay, Thoda. Okay, we are using like Thoda, like we are using SQL developer. We are using SQL developer, and we are using okay PLSQL developer. Okay, so this kind of tools we have it here, guys. Here. And these tools we are going to be used. And one more thing very important is what now? These tools we don't want to install separately, right? So what I said, when you want to install your Oracle software, automatically your client tool and server tool will be come to you. Okay, so there is no separate installation of your client tools here. So these are already inbuilt in your softwares. Okay, inbuilt in your softwares. So that's why once you installing your Oracle software, automatically these client tools are we are going to be getting. So in this any one client tool, you can use it guys here to communication purpose, to connectivity purpose. Okay, now sending response, sending request, getting response. So these all client tools are whatever we are using. Okay, these all are using for three reasons. One is the connectivity reason, sending requests and receiving response. Okay, either you can use SQL plus, you can use Thoda, you can use SQL developer, you can use PLSQL developer, whatever it is. Okay, but these are the things we have to do it now. So like for example, suppose Java is there. In Java, we are using so many editors, okay, for writing of their application programs, like edit plus we are using, right? Okay, like we are using what now? Notepad also we can use as an editor, okay, for development of your code. And Eclipse we are using, my Eclipse we are using, yes or no? So many tools we are using for application development of code, yes or no? Here also in Oracle also there are so many different clients are there. Okay, NetBeans, yes, NetBeans, Eclipse, my Eclipse, okay, now Edit plus, so many are there for using for development of application program in Java. Like this in Oracle also, SQL plus, Thoda developer, PLSQL developer, these are all you can use okay, the client tool, which was connectivity, sending and responding purpose. Okay, now so there is no difference, you have to use it. And next one is Oracle server. So what is Oracle server means? Here in the server component, guys, carefully observe. In the server component, again, we have two subcomponents. We have it here. Okay, so it again having there are two components, two subcomponents are there. So in this, what is the first subcomponent in this means? Okay, the first subcomponent is called as a, okay, first one is called as a here instance. Okay, is the one subcomponent, and the second one is called as what now? Okay, database. So these are the two subcomponents we have it in your Oracle server side. Okay, one is instance and one is okay, what we call database. So here, what is instance and what is database? What is instance and what is database means? Here observe. Instance is nothing but, carefully observe. Instance is nothing but it is a temporary memory. Okay, instance is nothing but it is a temporary memory. Okay, it is a temporary memory. And this memory, why the people called as instance is a temporary memory means this memory allocating by the system, that means instance subcomponent memory allocating by the system from where it is means from it was RAM. Okay, this instance memory allocating by the system from where it is means it was from RAM. Okay, now right. So that's why it is called as a, and we all of you know this RAM is a temporary storage of memory. RAM is a temporary storage of memory. Okay, now so and from this the memory is allocating for your instance okay subcomponent. And then what it was happened here, it is called a temporary memory. Okay, fine. That means whatever the data we are going to be storing in the instance memory, the data temporarily stored. Okay, so data storage, how it was means it's a temporary storage of data. Okay, so whatever we are going to be storing in this, okay, it will be stored data temporarily. It's stored data temporarily. Okay, so not permanent manner. Okay, right. But what about databases? Your database is a second component of your Oracle server, and this component is called as a. It is a permanent. It is a permanent. Okay, permanent memory. And this memory, why sir we called as the permanent memory means that it was allocating from hard disk. Yeah, allocating from hard disk, and we all of you know this hard disk memory is called a permanent storage of memory. Okay, na? Right. So now we can go to check out guys here. Okay, it's a permanent memory. So that what was happen, whatever the data we are storing under databases here, the data storage here, okay, storing data here, permanent manner. Okay, na? Understand na? So instance is like a RAM, database is like a hard disk. Okay, na? So database, from database, your memory is allocating for your database subcomponent, and RAM, from RAM it was allocating for your instance subcomponent. Okay, and but how these two subcomponents are internally working, how these two subcomponents are internally working means I will show you one client server architecture I'm showing now. So now whatever we are using Oracle client and whatever we are using Oracle server, so these two client and server, how they're going to be communicating to each other, and in server location, how these two subcomponents will be storages of your data. Let me see guys here. One small client server architecture I will show you. So what is client server architecture? By seeing of this diagram, you will get some idea. You will get some idea, right? Okay. So let me go to open your diagram. Okay. So guys, once you all of you focus on this client server architecture, all of you just focus on this client server architecture. Okay. Right. In this client server architecture, carefully observe, there are the two components we are getting once you installing your Oracle software. Okay. So once we install Oracle software, there are two components we are getting. Carefully observe, one by one I will explain to you. First one is called as a client, and second one is called as a server. Okay, now second one is called as a server. These are the two components, okay, internally along with your software system is installed. Okay, right. So here client component, what we said guys here. So there are three reasons are there that to go for client components. So one is we called as a, the first operation is called as what now? Okay, connectivity purpose. Okay, connectivity purpose. But whenever you want to connecting to your Oracle database server, so definitely here we required username, okay, and we required here password. Username and password we are going to be using guys here whenever you want to connect. So what is your username, how to create a password, I will show you, don't worry. Okay, na? So username and passwords. Suppose I was taken my username is okay, for our default users, some default usernames are there. So in this default user, one of my user is what now, for example. Okay, for example, so some add their password, something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right. So this is first thing. But how are you connecting means? Are you connecting with the client tool? Okay. After connecting to your Oracle database server, successfully you connected, then what you have to do, the second operation, what I said, are you sending some requests? Are you sending some requests? That means what is your request here? What is your request here? For example, let you see guys here. Suppose, are you sending one insert query request? I'm sending now. For example, I'm sending one insert query request. So insert, okay, into some values I'm passing guys here. So just observe. Okay, so 101, some name is I. So this is one, okay, some data we are inserting into our database, and my request name is insert query request. So I'm sending one insert query request to my database server after successfully connecting to my Oracle database server. Now we are inserting some data. Okay, now we can see what it was happening. Whenever you want to insert any new data or newly inserted data, okay, first of all, where it will be goes and where it will be stored. I mean, first it will be storing under instance memory. So first, whatever you inserted, the newly inserted data, whatever you have to insert, that every newly inserted data is storing under instance memory, storing under instance
Memory.
memory. Is what we discussed guys here. This instance memory is called as a temporary memory. Why sir it is called a temporary memory means sir, it was allocating from where it is I said RAM. It was allocating from where it is I said RAM. Okay now, so this is instance memory. So first your data, whatever user inserting here, the data first it will become to store under instance memory only. So 101 and sorry. Okay, first it will be storing in instance memory only. Okay, so but exactly carefully observe guys here. Suppose your data was there in the instance memory. Okay, your data still, because when you inserting new data, what we said, every newly inserted data is storing under instance memory, right? Now what it was happening, you can see. Suppose this data, we have it in the instance memory. So that means my data still it was having in the instance memory exactly at this point of time. Exactly at this point of time. Suppose, are you disconnecting? Okay, exactly at this point of time. Suppose we are disconnected. We are disconnected. Okay, from we are disconnected from where it is means from Oracle. Okay, database server. Okay, suppose okay, still your data was there in the temporary storage only, in the temporary memory only. Okay, but your data is not moving into database. Okay, your data is not moving into database. Okay, exactly at this point of time when your data was there in the instance memory, exactly at this point of time, suppose we are disconnected from Oracle database server. So whenever you want to disconnect from Oracle database server, what it was happening guys here, whatever the data was there in the instance memory, this data will be destroyed. This data will be destroyed. So that means whatever the information we having in the instance subcomponent memory, so immediately the data will be destroyed here. Understanding my point now? So this is one thing is going to be happen. That's why what we called as your instance is a temporary storage memory. Temporary storage memory. Once your data is there in the instance memory, that is not a permanent storage. That is a temporary storage. So once your data is there instance memory, at that point of time, if user disconnecting from your Oracle database server, then your data will be collapsed here. Your data will be destroyed here. Okay, now because that is not a permanent storage. Then what we want to do, sir? Then what we want to do, sir, means suppose you need to store permanent, for example. No, sir, I want to store my data permanently. I want to store my data means yes. So there you have to do one thing. So what we said, this inserting data first, it will go to storing under your instance memory, right? So it will be storing into instance memory. But this instance memory, what we said here, this is a temporary storage of data, we said. Yes or no? Now what I want to do, this temporary storage of data, I need to store into permanently. I need to store into permanently. So that means where I have to store your database subcomponent, because I said server is having two subcomponents, the instance and database. So now I want to store this data into permanent storage. A permanent storage means where it is your database here we called. Where it is your database we called. And the database is which type of memory, guys? We said it's a permanent storage and it was allocating from your hard disk. Okay, it was allocating from your hard disk. I find understanding now? Yes, hard disk. But sir, how the data can be moving, sir? How the data can be moved from instance memory to database memory? How I can move it? Means for this moving purpose, we are using one command here. The command is called as a commit command we are using. The command is called as a commit command we are using. So when programmer or user, when he was going to be using commit statement, then your data, which was there in the instance memory, the data will be successfully transferring into your permanent storage 101. Sorry. Then what happened here? Your data moving from instance memory to your permanent storage memory. So your data successfully, okay, your data successfully, okay, stored. So from where to where means from instance memory to permanent storage. So once your data was going to be entered into your database means where it is entered, your data is entered into hard disk memory. Your data is entered into hard disk memory. So once your data successfully reaching to your database component, okay, it's nothing but it was successfully entered into your hard disk. Okay, then this is called as a permanent storage of your data. Okay, so once your data is going to database, once your data is successfully reaching or entering to database, at this point of time, suppose you at this point of time, suppose user, okay, we are disconnected from Oracle, then your data is not collapsed here. Your data is not lose. We are not lose our data. Your data is always be there in your database. It's always there in your database. So until unless the user has to go, and delete your data, then only deleted. Otherwise your data is a permanent storage. Otherwise your data is a permanent storage. Understanding now? Right. And the same to same, how the data we are going to be, how the data is going to be, we are storing the permanently, so moving into data into databases, same as when you want to retrieving data. Carefully observe. Suppose you need to retrieve database data. Okay, so now I'm retrieving data. Okay, how it was retrieving means this is a process. So for retrieving purpose, here one command I'm using, actually the command is called as a selector. So whatever the data you have it, the data, what we are going to do in here, we are reading. Select command is nothing but what? Reading data, retrieving data. So this data we are reading. Reading means what now? Don't think that so many students are confusing. Reading means that this complete data will come to you. This data is just a reading. We are not taking this data. This data always be there in the database. Just whatever the data you want, get the data reading. But reading data, where it will go again, again it will go to in your instance memory. And from this instance memory, your data, okay, it was going to be displaying on your user application. Okay, on your user application. So now data, where it will be displayed here, displayed. Retrieving means what now? Displayed. So now data is going to be displayed. Okay, displaying means what now? The data is not there here. So now in this memory, data is not showing. So your data already be taken onto our user application. Okay, and this is what now permanent storage of data. Your 101 SAI is a permanently having here. This data we are just reading, just reading. In the reading process we are using, select command, and how it was reading data from database to instance memory, and from instance memory to client application, your data will be read. So that is what we called as the third one we called as what now? Response. The third one is called as what now? Response from your Oracle. So these are the three activities we are going to be doing now. So connectivity and request sending and getting response, okay, from your Oracle. And these are some client tools I said, plus SQL, plus Toda developer, PLSQL developer, SQL navigator, etc. So with the help of these client tools, we are going to be communicating and interacting with your Oracle database server, and internally your server will be going to be processing. So these are the two sub components how it will be work. Okay, now so this is client server architecture, guys. This is what we called as a client server architecture. Okay, so this is going to be happen. This is going to be happen. So internally, once you want to install your software, so whenever you want to install your Oracle software, what it was happening internally, sir? What it was happening internally, sir, means internally it was happening. So this is what I was explaining here. Okay, this is simplest formation, simplest understanding to everyone. Easily they can understand what it is client server architecture. Okay, what is a client and what is a server? Client tool to what we can do, server what we can do. Okay, so that will be checked out. Okay, now right. Now understanding now, right. So this is internally your data. That means how the data internally processing. Okay, how the data internally processing means this is the way your data internally storing. Okay, this is the way internally your data storing. So here permanent storage and temporary storage. There are two memories we have it here, RAM and ROM. Okay, now so this is what we call as guys here. Okay, right. So now let you see. So after successfully we installing your software, and these are two components and how it was working, so that we check it out. And later what we want to do, sir? Later what we want to do, sir, means yes. Now you can go to after. Suppose you just think, yes, sir, we successfully install your software. Then what our next step? What your next step? Okay. Okay, let me see, guys here. After installation, okay, this is internally happen, and now what I'm going to do here. Now after that, after installation process successfully be done, what is your next level of operation that we will say here. Okay, but guys here, before that, one of our the Narishaki management administrator, Mr. Srikanth, he want to talk to you. Okay, he want to talk to you. So please once listen.
Good morning, all. This is Srikanth here. Okay, just a small information. Those who have paid the fees will receive the mail, the new link mail to your registered mail IDs by today 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. you will be receiving the mail, the new link to your registered mail ID. Please check in all folders. If it's not there in the inbox, please check in the spam, in other folders, it will be there. Okay, if you don't receive the mail by 7:30 p.m. today, just put me a message after 7:30 p.m. in the WhatsApp. Sir, I did not receive the link. I'll send you the new link in the WhatsApp. And please do not reply, okay, sir, thank you, sir, once you receive the link in the WhatsApp. Okay, thank you. And one more information, we are going to add you in the Google Classroom today. Okay. And those who have not paid the please, I'm sharing the account details in the chat box. Please save the account details and make the payment. Send me the payment screenshot, your email ID in the WhatsApp. Is that clear, students? Can you please reply? Hi all, can you please reply? So I'm repeating the message once.
They're sending message, Srikanth garu.
Okay, sir. I'm just repeating the message one more time. Information. Those who have paid the fees will receive the new link to their registered mail IDs by today 7:30 p.m. Okay. please check in all folders. If it is not there in the inbox, you check in the other folders. Okay. And if you don't receive the mail by 7:30 p.m., just put me a message in the WhatsApp. Sir, I did not receive the link. I'll send you the link with the Google Classroom. Okay. And please do not reply after receiving the new link and Google Classroom in the WhatsApp. Thank you. Sir, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, right, yes. So now here observe. Okay, now, so this is what after installation, this is going to be happen. And okay, later what we want to do. Okay, later what we want to do. Okay, so once you have to successfully installing your software, we are getting some client tool and server tool, whatever it is. Okay, now later, now we want to work on that. Okay, so now, okay, now we are working. So when you want to work on, now we want to work on. Now we want to work on, okay, Oracle, okay, Oracle database. Okay, so there are three here steps mechanism we have it here. There are two steps mechanism we have it here. First one is called as a connect to Oracle. Okay, connect to Oracle database server. And the second one is called as what now? Communicate. It's a very important. It's a very important. Communicate with the Oracle database. Okay, now communicate with the Oracle database. So after installation, when you want to work on, after installation, when you want to work on your Oracle, okay, database here. So your Oracle database here. So now we can go to see. There are two steps mechanism we need to follow, guys. One is connected to Oracle database server, and second one is communicate with the Oracle database. So these are the two steps we need to follow: connectivity and communication. Okay, now. So what is connectivity and what is communication, sir? Okay, so what are these two steps, sir? And what is this? Okay, if you have some confusion, let me see one small diagram I will explain to you for easy to understanding purpose. Okay, for easy to understanding purpose. So one second. Yes. So now check it this diagram, guys. Here. Check it this diagram. Okay, what is the diagram here? Let you see. This is user. That means we are. Okay. So this is our installation of data. So once you installing your Oracle database, this is what it was happening. So now, if I want to work on your Oracle, if you want to work on Oracle, so what it was happen? Yes, step one is there. First, we need to connect, guys. Here. First, we need to connect. For connect to your Oracle, so what we are using, guys, here we are using one tool. So here I'm using one tool that's called SQL Plus tool. So SQL Plus tool, Toda, okay, SQL Developer, PLSQL Developer, any client tool you can use. Okay, so any client tool you can use, but I'm using here SQL Plus client tool. Okay, now right. So with the help of this client tool, what I said, we are connected. After connectivity is successfully done, what is the next step you have to do means? So your next step is communicating with your database. Communicating with your database. So communication purpose, what we require, guys, here, language. What we require here, language we require. So that means here, there are two things we require here. There are two knowledges are we required here. One is SQL plus, okay, tool knowledge, and SQL is a language. Okay, SQL is a language. So these are the two things we require, guys, here. For example, simply I want to tell you. For example, nowadays we have it here. Okay, so nowadays, for example, our friend or something. Okay, so you and your friends are there. You and your friends are there. For example, your friend is going to be staying in Mumbai, and are you staying in Hyderabad? Okay, now, right? For example, this is you. So simply, if anybody having any confusion, let's see. Simple example I'm giving now. So this is one person X, and this is one more person Y. Okay, so this X and Y, these two people are, there are best friends. X and Y, there are two people there are best friends. But unfortunately, what it was happening, guys, here, your ex friend, that means the ex friend is working in Hyderabad, and he is a friend Y, he was working in, for example, Mumbai. For example, working in Mumbai. So one fine day, this ex person he need to talk to he need to talk to his friend. That friend name is Y. But nowadays, when you want to talk to some other persons or other people, then generally nowadays what we are using, mostly we are using mobiles, we are using the mobile technologies we are using. Okay, mobile applications that we are using now. So this is your mobile, right? This is your mobile. Okay, fine. Now, with the help of this mobile tool, with the help of this mobile tool, with the help of this mobile device, so X, okay, user, he was going to be calling to his friend Y. So your call is going on. Your call is going on to your friend, okay, Y. But unfortunately, your friend is not lift the call. Your friend is not lift the call. So when you not lift means, okay, in the first attempt, your call is not connected. Your call is not connected because your friend is not lift your call. So your call is not lift means automatically your friend is not lift the call means you didn't connect to call. Okay, fine. So you people, that X person thinking that my friend is very busy. So he was tried a second time. He was tried one more time now. So second time he is calling. Okay, next second time he was calling. So second time he was calling, but second time, okay, your friend lift the call. Your friend lift the call in the second time. So call is connected. So your message is coming out on your mobile screen, connected. Okay, one messages will come to you, connected. So call connected. Can you tell me guys here, once my call is connecting to my friend, call is connecting to my friend, then can I start to talk? Can I start to talk? Come on, can I start to talk?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes, definitely. Definitely we want to talk. But talking purpose, talking is nothing but what now? Communication. Talking is nothing but communicate. Yes or no? Suppose if I want to communicate with my friend, then what we require guys here? What we require here? Yes, one language is required. One language is required. Suppose your friend is a Telugu person, we are using a Telugu language. Suppose your friend is a Hindi person, we are using Hindi language. Suppose your friend is a Bengali person, so we are using Bengali. Okay, now? So suppose your friend doesn't know anything, he was know only English, then we are using English language. So these are what now communication languages. So when you want to communicate the two people to each other, definitely we require some language. That is like it's a depending on the two people which language they both can understand. So that languages they are going to be using now. So same thing what it was happening guys here. So now we can observe, suppose you have to think SQL plus tool is called as a mobile. SQL plus tool is called as a mobile. Just your easy understanding purpose. Okay, SQL plus tool is like a mobile. It's like a mobile. Okay, SQL language is called as a, it's a communication language. Maybe this language is a, okay, maybe this language is a Telugu, or maybe it is a Hindi, maybe it is a English, whatever it is. Okay, this is a language. So language we are using for communication purpose, and SQL plus we are using connectivity purpose. Okay, na? So these are the two steps mechanism compulsory should be follow whenever you want to work. Okay, so compulsory we should follow these two mechanisms. The two steps procedure you should be follow when you want to working on Oracle database. Okay, now right. And now let me see. Now let me see. Okay, so now the first point is what now? Step one, connecting to Oracle database server. But here what we want to do, okay, what we want to do, that we can say how to connect to Oracle. Okay, how to connect to Oracle database.
Yes.
If I'm going to connecting, if I'm going to connecting, then how we can connecting sir means yes. Now you have to install your software, download your software. Okay, after downloading, okay, after downloading and installations, after okay, how we can go to connecting, how we can go to connecting. First a little bit explanation I'm giving for connectivity purpose. Okay, and after I will show you installation. Okay, right. So how to connect means simple. Just go to after installation, just go to after installation all programs. You have all programs now. So you will get all programs here. In all programs, just you have to check here. So your version. So what is your version? Oracle 19 home. So open your Oracle 19c. So in this, so many applications are there. In this applications, one of the icon is there here. Can you see SQL Plus? Can you see SQL Plus icon will be there in your all programs? That means after installation of your software, we all of you know this. Okay, that related software related icons. Okay, that all comes under in your all programs list. So go to all programs list and go to your home folder, and that folder you have to, the folder is what now? Oracle 19 home folder will become to you. So this folder is there now, Oracle 19 home folder. You just open it, this folder. After open, there are so many applications are there. In the so many applications, so which application, that means which icon you need to click on means yes. Here we have it here. SQL Plus is there. Can you identify? SQL Plus is there. So this icon will become to you guys. Once your installation successfully done, so this will become to you, right? Right. So on this icon, okay, you just come out and click on that. You just come out and click on that. Otherwise, you can go to set button. SQL Plus. Okay, SQL Plus. Okay, now your SQL Plus is showing up. So just click on that. Just click on that. Your yes, your SQL okay plus icon is going to be open now. Okay, now so once it was open, can you see? Okay, can you see? Here immediately it was asking enter username. Can you see? Immediately it was asking enter username. My point understanding all of you now. So immediately it was asking enter username. That means we don't have it a direct permissions, guys. So very important point is what now? We don't have it a direct communication, direct connectivity permissions are not there. This is the security. This is called a security. This is called a security. My point understanding now. So why databases are secured? So why databases are secured? Okay, now so that is called as a okay. So that is called as a what? The username. Enter username and password. Okay, let you see. I will be enter my username is okay. System is the default username. Okay, I would enter system and enter password. Immediately it was asking enter password, right? So password, my password is what? At the time of installation, I entered my password. Okay, I entered. But guys, can you see? I was entered already. My password is already I entered, but it was showing to me. Come on, guys. I already typed my password, but it was showing to me. No. So many students are confusing here. So don't confuse. So some people thinking that, sir, my password is entered or not. It is not showing to me, sir. Yes. Yes, sir, your password is not password, right? So now, but I enter some, okay, I enter my password. Let you see, guys. Let you see, I'm going to enter now. Yes. So now you will be connected. So you will be connected successfully. So Oracle Database 19c Enterprise Edition. So we said that there are two types of editions are there. We said there are two types of editions are there, Express Edition and Enterprise Edition. So now we are using, so Oracle Database 19c Enterprise Edition we are using. So this is what connected to Oracle 19c Enterprise Edition database. Okay, now connected. So yes, you will be successfully connected here. So after connected, what we want to do now, you need to do some operations. Suppose I need to send some request to my server. So like a query request I have to send. So select star from some request tab, or else if you want to see some EMP table, okay, now so the kind of operations you can do. But whenever you want to send a request, this is called as what now, a request. But this is what we call means this is a SQL language query. This is what SQL language query. Okay, now so here SQL language. So whatever we are sending the request here to my server, every query is belongs to SQL language query. So with the help of this SQL language queries, with the help of this SQL language, we are communicating to your database. We are communicating to your database. So that is what it is, how it is. We will see it now. Understanding that this is simply connectivity I showed you. Simply connectivity I showed. Understand the point now? Right. So this is what it was, simple connectivity process. Okay, and after connectivity, you have to do your operations, guys, here. Okay, so then we have to go for SQL language. I said now there are two steps here. We have it here. Okay, now so connectivity and communication. Okay, so now this is what we can go to use it, guys, here. Okay, right. So now the installation, now we will see installations and downloading installation after. Again, you will be go to connect, and we are continuing your operations. Okay, we are continuing, then we started our practicals, whatever. Okay, so but here installation as well as okay, software installation and downloading. So okay, so this will be, we can see, guys, here. Okay, observe. So these operations we can see in tomorrow session. So tomorrow I will show you how to okay, download and install your software. And guys, here one more thing is what now. So I already the DBMS, the running notes and the all notes I'm going to sharing in my Google Classroom. Okay, so suppose if you want to whatever just now the Srikanth was said to you. Okay, so what you have said, so they will be adding your names in Google Classroom link by today 7:30 p.m. So once you have to get that link, okay, now so let you check out here. Already the notes, material and notes already we kept here. Okay, the first part, files versus DBMS notes and running notes and main notes, whatever I said, every day we are getting your running notes as well as main notes, right? So now I'm showing now how you want to check that works. Okay, so go to your mail. So which mail are you giving to our management people? So just go to check your mails. Okay, so now you will be getting, so now you are received here, like you can receiving here, Nourish IT Technologies invitation, okay, to Cotec and your batch Oracle 715. This link will become to you. Okay, so just open this link. So just open the link. Okay, so here first year already here join is there, but initially it was there here what now, invitation is there. So you just open this link, and when you come back to this link, your invitation button will be there. You just click on invitation button. So once you click on invitation, use accepted. Okay, invitation is accepted. Then you are enter into the Google Classroom. Okay, now you are enter into Google Classroom. So in this class work is there now. So I'm keeping in this class works. Okay, already yes. So introduction to DBMS main notes and introduction to DBMS running notes already there. So now you just open your running notes. Now you just open your running notes. Now you can see your running notes already I kept. So for this notes you want to see, you just go to click on this. You just click on this, your notes will be open. And this is completely running notes what we discussed in the classroom. Okay, now? So in the last session yesterday up to where we discussed, guys, here, up to where we discuss here, up to we discuss, okay, up to we discuss, okay, yes, introduction part of 19C. So up to here we discussed in the last session 10/8/2021 in the yesterday. So up to here we discussed, right? That running notes, okay, I kept it here. And later, okay, so because your DBMS, okay, files and DBMS, it was going to be successfully completed now. So now you have to go next what now? Suppose, okay, next you have to go and go to your classwork. Okay, so now the main notes. So I'm giving headings here. Okay, this headings you always keep it your, okay, so which is main notes. Okay, so I'm mentioning here main notes and running notes I'm mentioning here. Okay, now, so this is important to observe. And here we have to here when it was posted means yesterday. Okay, now, so here when it was posted, that every information will be there here. So you can carefully, if you want to identify this, all the things you can understand. Okay, so the posted date and time also we have here. Okay, right. And main notes, just open your introduction to main notes, and main note also there already, and open your main notes. Okay, after open main notes, this is Oracle 19C, your main notes and what we discussed. So I already said to you, so introduction to DBMS part in the terminologies, what is data, what is the information, data storages, yes or no. So these all are completely main notes it is. Okay, along with the wherever diagram is required, I was given diagram also in the notes. Okay, so wherever diagram is required, I was given diagrams also. Okay, it's a clear notes which was made by myself. Okay, as per my experience, I made this all complete notes, and very easiest manner, simplest manner. Any non-IT students also, that means non-background students also, they can easily understand this notes without having any complicated words. Without having any complicated words, a non-technical person also, they can easily understand my notes. Okay, so in such a way I was designed this notes, so very easiest information, very easy to moving into your brain. Okay, now so now this is what completely whatever it is, the introduction part of your DBMS. Yes, so total 11, 11 pages are there here. Okay, this is first notes you will be getting. Okay, now so this is introduction to DBMS. Okay, first copy, and this is the first copy of main notes. Okay, and later like this every like this every topic wise, okay, so class notes as well as topic wise running notes also you have it, guys. Okay, now my point understanding now all of you. So now go to classroom, go to classwork, and now we can see. So introduction to DBMS, introduction to database management. This is running and main notes. So now today we started, okay, introduction to Oracle, whatever I was explained here, that complete running notes will be, okay, we are going to be uploading in this. And after introduction Oracle is completed, when you will get a main notes. And this main notes, you must and should be keep it, guys, here. Maybe running notes is just a reference notes, if you want to keep or not, whatever it is, but you just go for your maintenance of a database. Main notes is a very important. This is, it will be helping to you for your interview levels, subject level. This will be helping. This is just my explanation notes. This is okay. Now this is maybe, may not be, but this one you always keep it in your side. Okay, now my point understanding now, right? So this is this link. Okay, whatever the Mr. Srikanth was said. So this link you will be get now. Okay, by today 7:30 p.m. So they will be at, or they will be send this Google Classroom link. So once they're sending, you just invitation will come to you, your mail. Which mail are you given here? So that mail invitation you can accept, and later you enter, and every day. So in this only I'm keeping my software also. So Oracle 19c, whatever we downloaded, the downloaded software, how to download the links and installation videos, okay, or any other videos, everything we will be keep in this Google Classroom. Okay, so I hope that you can understand here now. So as soon as already materials are uploading one by one, day wise. Okay, so your chance is what now? You just go to take this link. Okay, right, guys. So okay, this is what we can, and I will show you. So downloading and installation, I will show you. Okay, now, right. So, and we will see in tomorrow's session, guys, here. Okay, so thank you so much. And today's session, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, log out. Okay, right, guys. Yeah, one by one I will come to you. So Namrata here in Oracle database. Okay, how it was designing means that architecture I was explaining to you. Okay, so we can't directly, if you want to store the data, is only the way is to commit. Only the way is to commit. So when you committed, then only directly store. Without commit, the data cannot be stored directly. Okay, now. So if you want to store data, permanent storage directly means compulsory we should go for commit on. Okay, right. Now, so Pramod, can you explain acid and cord rules? Acid properties and cord rules. So yeah, we are discussing in the future classes. Introduction we have it. If introduction I will explain to acid properties, now you didn't understand anything. Okay, now so that is a concept wise, a topic wise, we are going to be discussing this all concept, right, Pramod? Right. Yeah, Rajshekhar. So I have a query regarding to this. So what are all the things will be there in the instance and database? So instance and database is nothing but Rajshekhar memories. Okay, now so memories. In this, what it was there, storage of data is there. So how you storing the data in tabular formats? Yes or no? So instance is like a RAM. That's why I'm telling you, RAM and database is a hard disk. Okay, now these are memories. Using what purpose means storage of your data purpose, okay, or information purpose. Okay, right. Yeah, Kuldeep. So internet links, these are all not necessary, Kuldeep, because I'm sending your original main notes I'm sending now. Then why again you are going to internet links? What is that? Okay, Kuldeep. I hope that you not necessary for that also. Once you check my notes, okay. So see, if I'm sending internet links and everything now, so what it was happen, you will be confusing again. Subject is confused. Okay, right. So finally, I will give it. Okay, now finally, I will give it some links to you if you want to. Sorry, I wanted some links for internet from online links. Yes, definitely, I will provide. The last I will provide. Okay, now first initially at the learning moment, you have to follow this material and whatever we are going to be discussing examples in our classes. This all you have to follow it. Finally, I will provide all the things. Okay, Kuldeep, right? So Google Classroom is nothing but just I'm keeping just what we can say, guys. Satish, yeah, materials. Any information is there, I will be put into Google Classroom. Okay, now, so your materials, your softwares regarding to softwares, if any videos. Okay, these kind of that means the stuff which is related to our course. So that kind of things I'm going to keeping on the Google Classroom. Okay, now. So it's just like a mediator for you and me. Okay, to sharing my notes, my materials, okay, regarding to our course. Okay, no? Right. Yeah, Rajesh, yeah. I didn't talk to you, but don't worry. Still, your ID is not changing now, so don't worry. So I'm talking when I'm getting the message to changing your mail, what we can say, Zoom ID. When it was changing Zoom ID, at the time I will talk to you. Okay, Rajesh, I remember your name also. Okay, right. Yeah, Jadeshwar. Okay. So whatever you are taking that, okay, that copy you have to take from the management people, they will be provided to you. Okay, na? Right. Right. Next, any book, Ravi, initially don't go Ravi, any book, okay, now, because my point is all of you understand, guys, here. Initially, if you go to taking different authors, different books now, lot of confusions are there. Okay. After learning, okay, then you can go to book. Otherwise, up to there, not necessary. You just focus on this and practice every day, whatever I'm giving exercise for is or whatever. So that is enough initially. So after learning that, you have to go book. Then your book, it can be understand. Otherwise, book is a lot of confusion. Okay, now. So that the books, everything last I will give to you if you want it. Okay, right. So initially, don't go for that. First, okay. Right. No, Pinky, don't worry. I'm sending link and I will show you how to download, how to install that. Everything I will show you, right? So you just follow my video. Okay, I'm sending my own video. So the video also I'm keeping in the Google Classroom. Okay, now you just follow the video step by step. What I'm doing in the video, the as it is you have to follow. So there is nothing problem. Okay, if any installation problems are coming out later, I will give solution how to do. Okay, now right. Yeah, Rajshekhar. That is what system-defined files. So system-defined files we can say. Okay, na? So that is whatever you're sending your data, na, that is one file. Okay, so that file data you move into database, right? So when you are receiving, that is called a reading. Whatever you are reading database, the reading data again it will go to where I said instant. That is called a reading files are created, and from the reading files you have to reading the data into client. These are when you have to doing some operations on the Oracle. These operations through internally, these all different types of data storage files are created. Okay, now yes, that we will see in coming days one by one, Rajshekhar, right? Okay. Instance memory, database memories, we cannot identify one thing. So that is a, so for example, one thing we can say, when you purchasing a mobile, Teja, are you there now? When you purchasing in mobile, so we know that in mobiles we have a external storage, internal storages are there, right, Teja? Teja, external storage, right or wrong? Yes, na? So external storage, internal storage, how we are using in your mobiles. Okay, same just like you remember instance and database. Okay, so external and internal. Okay, na? So now you got it, na? Now your question answer you got it. Okay, na? We can't identify. We want to tell how to tell external in a mobile device. Okay, same like this in database also, instance and database. Okay, right. Now, so you have to identify only the thing is what now? Okay, instance is nothing but a RAM. Okay, are you purchasing, when you're purchasing laptop, in your configuration, you're purchasing RAM memory 1 GB or 2 GB or hard disk memory, yes or no? So that is your identification. RAM identification of instance, hard disk is identification of your database. Okay, right. Minimum requirements is what now, Arsha? Tomorrow I will tell you at the time of installation. I will tell you what is the minimum requirements to installing your, right. So tomorrow when I showing installation, at the time I will tell. Okay, right, guys. Okay, guys, fine. And okay, so tomorrow we will go for how to download and install your software, that we will say it in tomorrow's session. After the installation, then we started our practicals works. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much.